WWE in 2026 might genuinely be just as bad as it was in 2019. It's going to be more of a ranty style video, so if I'm all over the place, just forgive me. I just got to get this off my chest, okay? So, first off, King and Queen of the Ring was a waste of time. Oba wins, right? Hottest guy in WWE, right? He wins deservedly so, as he should have. But instead of, going with the match you have been building up since the WrestleMania post show, like literally 10 minutes after Roman won the championship, he goes on the post show and calls out Obafemi. So I'm like, okay, they do the post show bit. He wins King of the Ring. He calls him out. That makes sense to me. We're doing the match at SummerSlam. But he says, nah, that can wait. It will always be there. I want to fight someone else. I said this in a past video. That's like a Royal Rumble winner saying, yeah, I just won the Rumble. I'm getting my title match at WrestleMania. But you know what? I don't want that. I want to fight someone else. A non-title match against someone completely different. Yeah, that's what I want. That doesn't make sense. And then on the women's side, what are we doing? You have the champion be in it, which why? You very clearly weren't going to do a champ versus champ thing. I thought, okay, maybe you can do something with her and Raquel in the finals and like this weird dichotomy between them, and that leads to some kind of dissension and split. They didn't do that. So your champion just loses to a curse from Danhausen, and now your rematch for your championship this time is being built around Danhausen. I'm going to say it one more time. The World Championship match of the women's division on Raw is built around Danhausen. Why? I like Danhausen. I do. But now we're doing way too much with Danhausen, bro. He was cool in the backstage segment with the curse little segments. Cool, fine. But when he is the main driving force of a women's world championship feud, or any world championship feud, we have a problem. We have a massive problem here. And speaking of the Judgment Day, what are we doing with Dom? Last year, around this time, he was fighting AJ Styles. One of his last feuds of AJ Styles' career was Dom. It was him. And then he is Cena's last PLE match. John Cena's last PLE match was against Dom. And we are in August, basically. I'm recording this on the 28th. We're basically in August. And they have done nothing with him all year. It's not even like he got injured. He was gone for like 2-3 months. No, they just didn't do anything. Literally nothing. So now he's feuding with Danhausen on what was it, like a human money on a pole match? What are we doing? What are we doing? I'm not saying they gotta win world championships. I'm not even asking for that. I just want him to be in the mix doing something. Like, he's literally just there. Like, the last time he actually had a feud was with Finn getting into WrestleMania. And even then, they barely did anything with that. It was literally just Finn and JD have a match, interruption. That's it. That's literally the entire thing. It was just Finn and JD, Dom comes in, distraction. DQ. Or vice versa. Like, come on now. Another one that's kind of a fumble, Braun. Coming into 2026, Braun was on fire. All right, the same way Oba is before the whole Brock trilogy. That was Braun, right? He took that famous photo in the house show that looked really, really good. He had that match against CM Punk. That was a good match. And they were like, okay, he's the favorite to win the Royal Rumble, right? Even on Unreal, they was like, yeah, we're gonna have Braun win the Rumble, but you want to know why they didn't? They didn't want to shove him down our throats. So you then have him be eliminated first. And then he gets injured. You know, you can't do nothing about that. You know, injuries happen. It sucks it happened at that time. So he misses WrestleMania. He returns at Mania. Spears Seth. Okay, we can have a little feud. He proceeds to lose the feud. All right, fine. It's Seth Rollins. All right, cool. It's understandable. Now he's in the tag division with Austin Theory as the fourth most important member. So it's like, yeah, individually that doesn't sound too bad, but when you put it all together, it's like, what? Like, how? Are we waiting for Bronson Reed to return for them to actually do something with Braun? Is that what we're waiting for? Are we waiting for Logan Paul to get healthy before we do something with Braun? And that leads me to my next point, and that's, they don't really strike with the irons hot. And when they do, they overdo it. Like Danhausen, that was cool. He was funny. He was entertaining. People loving Danhausen. He was buying his merch, #1 merch seller. So what do? They overdo it. Main event segments with, not main event, but like segments with main event talent. Whoa. Centerpiece of a whole championship feud. He took hostage of Miz and Kit Wilson. We don't know what happened with that. That kind of just dropped that. They didn't even mention that again. We didn't know what's going on with Kit. And speaking of Kit, he's another one. When his theme music dropped, we were like, "Oh my God, that's a good theme. A good theme in 2026." Okay, he was going crazy. Crowd was loving it. So what do? Make him a Danhausen zombie mummy amnesia dude? Like what? The misparent could have went somewhere. You know what I mean? Tag division. All right, cool. I'm not saying he needs to win world championships, but like, you couldn't have at least put him in the actual tag division with The Miz and have him do something there, and then maybe a heel turn or something. You couldn't do that. And speaking of the tag division, Damian Priest, when he won the championship in 2024 at WrestleMania, that was a cool moment. He had a solid reign. It was nothing groundbreaking. It was okay. It wasn't like, yeah, he's very clean up there at this level. He's not that, but he did okay. So what do? They have him do an endless feud with Drew McIntyre in 2025. And then the second half of 2025 was Aleister Black. And now he's in a pointless tag team with R-Truth. It was cool at first, but now they haven't done anything with it at all. They teased something with the War Raiders, but they haven't done anything with that yet either. So it's like, what are we? They teased it like a month ago, around there, give or take a week or two, and they still haven't done it yet. So like, what are we waiting for? Because very clearly, the WWE does not care about the tag division. And that leads me to my next point. TKO and the whole celebrity meddling. They want to meddle. They want to keep putting their little grubby fingers. We saw it last year with The Rock and the whole heel turn of John Cena. But now this year, they're like, you know what? We have something potentially special. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, decade-long history with one another. They have something there. So what do? Pat McAfee is the main driving force of Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. One more time for the people in the back. The main driving force of Cody versus Randy for the undisputed title in the main event of night one is centered around Pat McAfee. And then they had the nerve to include Jelly Roll in the story. Why? Why? So now when we do eventually run it back, which we all know they will, it's like this weird stain on it because you could have done something special. The heel turn was phenomenal. So now it's like, now what? Like, yeah, you can still do the personal stuff. The video package that they played right before Mania was better than the actual feud. They had more history and more storytelling between them than the actual build-up for the match. It's like, why? And that's not even including the budget cuts. You cut Kairi Sane in the middle towards the end of her face turn on turning on Asuka. And then like a week or two after she got released, they do Asuka versus Io. And it's very clear they're missing someone, the main thing around the match. So when they do the whole hug me brother, hug me sister, we're friends now thing, it feels weird because the main thing y'all fighting over is not even there anymore. So it's like, what's the point of the match now? I don't get that. And then before the whole Pat McAfee intervention in the whole Randy Orton Cody Rhodes thing, allegedly is supposed to be Aleister Black. And that made sense. They were putting little seeds. Cody had that match with Aleister Black. You know, Aleister Black was having a little backstage segment with Randy. You know what I mean? He was, you know, being a little bit of a devil's advocate with Sammy. You know, he was getting in the mix. So it would have made sense for him to be involved. That would have made sense. But of course, TKO, they want Pat McAfee. They want celebrities. This past Monday, we had Ryan Garcia for some reason be in it. I don't understand. I get it. He has a boxing event or whatever for TKO with Zuffa Boxing, Zuffa, whatever it's called, that no one watches. They got to promote that somehow, some way. So let's include Ryan Garcia in there. Saturday night's main event was literally just a Knicks Glaze session. And I'm a Knicks fan. But that main event segment was crazy. The main event of Saturday night's main event, the same event where John Cena had his last match. So very clearly, they view that somewhat highly. Very clearly. It's not something like this throwaway. It is what it is. No, they had John Cena, your GOAT, the face of your company for basically 20 years, basically. Retire at that event. And it gets main evented by a Jalen Brunson Glaze session. A Jalen Brunson Glaze session. One more time. A Jalen Brunson Glaze session. And I'm a Knicks fan, so it was supposed to be for me. People like me. I can only imagine what Spurs fans are feeling. They probably turned that off a long time ago. It's like, why? We love celebrities. Celebrities have always been involved in WWE. We understand that. We do. But there comes a point in time where it's like, okay, you are building the story around the celebrity and not the story being... Hold on. You are building the story around the celebrity and not the other way around. If that makes sense. Like, they have, instead of having an existing story that they're trying to tell and then including it, like, put them in there like somehow, some way, but it's not that big a deal. It's the other way around. Like for example, Bad Bunny, right? We love Bad Bunny. You know what I mean? We listen to his music. He has nice little one-off matches. They don't really impact anything too crazy. He gets in, gets out. See you later. Stuff like that, I have no problem with. I don't. Get in, get out, mind your business. They don't really interfere with main event segments. They don't get involved in too many things. The story isn't built around them. It's just, hey, have a match with Damian Priest. Boom. Have a match against John Morrison and The Miz. Boom. You're done. No problem with that. Even Logan Paul, he became a full-time guy now. But before he popped in, have a match, pop out, pop in, pop out. No problem with that. But now when you're like Pat McAfee, hey, main event, WrestleMania, World Championship match, highly anticipated, get in there. Whoa. Whoa, buddy. Whoa. Relax. And don't even get me started on the ticket prices. I made a whole video about that. It's been long talked about, but it's like, come on. Like, you priced out wrestling fans. We're to the point where the cheapest ticket to WrestleMania was like $700 for a nosebleed seat that you probably have to look at the TV to look at anyway. So you're not even looking at the ring, you're looking at the giant Titantron just to see what's going on. That was like $700 for the cheapest ticket for one night. Not even a combo ticket, just one night. Just for the ticket. So now, when the product is this bad, and even the people who are like casual fans who got the money are like, whoa, wait a minute. We're not digging this. So now they gotta sell it for $25 and it's still not selling. It probably sold out now because, you know, it's $25 SummerSlam. People gonna buy it anyway. But regardless, the fact they got this low from $700 for nosebleeds to $25 goes to show, yeah, bro, people are not buying this stuff. And he had the nerve to include Club WWE, where you pay $99 for a chance to buy the ticket early. So you're paying $100 to spend $1,000 before everybody else. When everybody else is going to just wait, spend like half of that because they're going to go on a discount because people aren't going to buy the ticket. They not. Especially when the product is this bad. Okay, if SummerSlam, the big three, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and 2 out of the 3 is struggling to sell, something went wrong along the way. Something. Like you don't have 2 of your big 3 events struggle this bad. Like you don't have that. If the product like it was like it was in 2023, 2024, cool, it was selling like that even last year with the whole same match ending on Raw. Remember that last year on Raw leading into SummerSlam? We was literally just the same thing over and over and over. We're just a cycling roster of who's doing it. It was the Vision. It was Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed. Over and over. LA Knight, Roman, Jay. It was just a whole cycle over and over and over. It was like, yo, what are we doing? And then one random Raw, it was main evented by Asuka and Rhea, and then back to the cycle. It was like, all right. It's like, what are we doing? So that leads me to the next point. They playing it way too safe. Like, when was the last time you were genuinely surprised? Sami Zayn. Before that, Drew, maybe, when he won this year. But like, even then, they've been fighting since what, August? I'd hope so. I'd hope he'd give him at least one. They've been fighting for 5 months now. I'd hope he at least get some in the process. And it's like, even then, when you do it, you do surprise us, you do nothing with it. You do nothing. Going back to 2025, the New Day heel turn. Great segment. What do? You wait until WrestleMania to crown them as champion in the tag division that they run. It's the New Day. They can win it tonight, right now, and no one would complain about it. And you wait until WrestleMania to pull the trigger in a match that was sponsored by what, Clash of Clans? Really? And then going back to the Drew example, you have him win. He defends it against Sami Zayn and then loses it the SmackDown after Elimination Chamber. The reasoning, oh yeah, you got in the match, so you technically screwed Cody. So even though Cody lost the match that was for the #1 contendership for the championship, yeah, he's gonna have that match. So it's like, then why do the man? So why have him lose the Elimination Chamber just to have the match 5 days? I don't get it. I don't get it. And then Sami Zayn recently wins it 9 days later, loses it to CM Punk for no reason. You want to know the real reason? Because they want to do Cody versus CM Punk so bad, but they can't think of any logical way to get there. Like any logical way to get there. Same thing with Cody and Randy. They wanted Cody and Randy so bad, but they can't think of any other way to get to it besides just shoehorning a impromptu title match that kind of don't make sense just to put it on someone else, just for them to not get their rematch so they can fight someone else. That's like, what do we? I don't get it. And speaking of titles, title reigns suck now. Like I talked about it yesterday on my Raw review. When was the last time a women's champion has had a good reign? Not even a great reign, just a good reign. When was the last time? Becky's first IC title reign and the end of Lyra's was the last time I said, okay, they had a good reign. That's it. Like that long ago. Because going through the list, the Women's US Championship should be deleted at this point. It has been booked so terribly. It might genuinely be one of the worst championships in WWE history. It has been that bad. From its inception to now, it has been terribly booked. And every single champion who has held that title deserved it. Chelsea Green is very entertaining. Right? Julia should be in the main event scene. Zelina Vega is solid. Tiffany Stratton is a former world champion. So you have talent. You do. You definitely have the talent at the title, holding it. You just don't do anything with it. The main event scene on SmackDown in the women's division was literally Tiffany, Nia, Jade, all 2025. Like after the whole Tiffany and Charlotte match at WrestleMania thing, from after Mania to Mania, it was literally just those three. And when Jade finally won the title, she fought Jordynne Grace, and that was it. Jordynne Grace just disappeared on TV, had like maybe one more match on SmackDown, and that was it. She's not even in the ladder match. Not even in the qualifying matches for the ladder match. Not even that. Nia gets 2 chances, but Jordynne Grace couldn't get one. And yeah, made her seem like she's a big deal when she first debuted on SmackDown. One of her first matches on SmackDown was against the world champion of the brand. And now she can't even get a qualifying match? And it's not even like she's injured. She's not injured. She's healthy. As far as I know, she's healthy. They just don't want to do nothing with her. So, yeah. Over on Raw, the IC title, Becky wins it, loses it, gets it back, loses it, gets it back, loses it. And no one really benefited from it at all. AJ Lee won it, did nothing with it. Maxine won it for like a week, did do nothing with it. Soul won it, did nothing with it. Now Raquel she won it, so maybe it's gonna be different. But knowing the history of every single women's champion, I don't bet on it. I'm not holding my breath about it. Maybe it could be different, but knowing how they've been dealing with the whole Judgment Day thing is probably going to be like, yeah, Liv's champ, I'm champ. What are you, Roxanne? And that's going to lead to some dissension storyline that's been building up for like a year now that they have done nothing with at all. So I'm not holding my breath on anything about that. And speaking of Liv, she has been god awful as champion. Like, even like down to like the promos and I get it. They're healed. They're supposed to not be like, they're supposed to be hated. But like, no, this is a different type of hate. Like, I hate it when people say, oh, they're healed. They're supposed to be annoying. You're not supposed to like them. I'm not supposed to want to blow my brains out when I see them. Okay. Just her promo style just hurts my ears every single time. And it's like, oh my God, we get it. We get it. And the constant interferences. When one have a match, you get the other 50. They're getting involved. It's like, all right, can y'all just have like one match where y'all just win clean or lose clean with no shenanigans, no curse, no nothing, just a straight match? Can we do that, please? Just one, please. And the champion before her, Stephanie Vaquer, did nothing with it. Had her fought Nikki Bella like 5 times. Had her fought Raquel like 10 times. That was it. Like, literally, that was it. They reduced Stephanie Vaquer to just the devil's kiss. That's it. They just reduced it to that. To gooning. They just reduced it to goons. That's it. Before her, Naomi held it for like 2 weeks, got pregnant. Nothing you can do about that. Before that, it was Io. She was playing second and third fiddle in her own storylines. The Mania build was literally just her being ignored. The entire build. It was the build between Rhea and Bianca, with Io just being ignored. That was the entire storyline. Literally, the entire storyline was her being ignored. That was her bit. So it's like, do I trust this company to book any champion in the women's division good at all? Because they have all been bad. All of them. They've all been bad. And it's not because they don't have talent. They have talent. Lyra just turned heel and that was a success. Everyone loved it. Not a single person has went, man, I don't care. Everyone has enjoyed the heel turn. And what do? A commercial break segment that barely anyone saw. And one of those, oh, I'm looking at the TV, looking at my opponent type backstage segments for like 10 seconds. That was it. Like literally, that was it. Nothing. They did something with her and Billy at a house show. A house show has more plot progression than 2 weeks of television. That's crazy. Speaking of plot progression, the Bloodline. It has regressed. We're back to the same old. Roman has been cutting the same promo for 5 years. Literally, I'm the one. I'm the tribal chief. I gotta do it for my family. I gotta feed my kids. It's literally those 3 things on repeat. You might get a jab at the opponent. Maybe 1 or 2, and that's it. That's the entire promo. Acknowledge me. I'm him. I'm the tribal chief. I'm the one. I gotta do it for the family. I gotta put food on my kid's table. I gotta pay bills for my family. Family. That's it. That's all he does. He's just a running record. He'll have a segment here and there that's like, okay, this is what we want to see. And then it's back to the same old family. Head of the table. Family. Like, all right, we get it. You could have done something interesting with Jacob Fatu. Right? You could have him win it. They were going down an interesting path with him and Jay. Where like low key, Jay was the one pulling the strings on Roman. He could have done something there. But what do? Jay is just a lapdog again. He's just back to the same old. Jacob Fatu, same old. He's just in the bloodline now. You had something with him and Jacob and Jay having a little back and forth, but they still having the same deal. No, it's just back to the same old now. You could have had Jacob win and then have Roman fall in line. That would have been interesting. That would have been unique. It would have been different. Something new, something fresh. But nope. Back to Roman. Back to the OG bloodline. Even LA Knight's still involved again too. So it's like, what is even the end goal? Like, what is the end goal? Is Roman going to hold it for another 1,300 days? Like, because if he's who is he fighting at Mania? Because if he's not fighting Oba at Mania, he ain't losing at Mania. If it ain't Cody, maybe CM Punk or Oba, he's not losing it. He's not losing it. Even if it's somehow some way The Rock, he's not losing it. He's not. So then what? What is the goal? Genuinely, you can't do the Cody thing again. We already did that. We've been there, done that. Then we literally just are recycling the same plot line now. So it can't be Cody. It can't be. They're already doing him versus Seth this at SummerSlam. And people are already kind of over it. So you can't do Seth. So then what? Oba, at that point, just do it now. You have him win King of the Ring. It just don't make sense. You have him win King of the Ring, relinquish it to someone else, and have the dude who lost in the first round of the King of the Ring tournament fight him at SummerSlam anyway. That don't make sense. It don't make any sense at all. At that point, just have Seth win King of the Ring and go from there. You had the opportunity to have Oba technically lose, but not get pinned by have someone else take the win. Like that. See how simple that was? To where they technically lose, technically speaking, but he didn't get pinned. Or have Brock cost him. Or something. I would have made a lot more sense than having winning it and just saying, I don't want it. So it's like, what is the plan? Like, Roman says, yeah, I'm going to be here all summer. But you doing the same thing over and over each and every week. So what's the point of you being here? You don't even wrestle on Raw and SmackDown anymore. You just wrestle on PLEs. And you don't even be on PLEs like that anyway. You're not being here on every PLE. You're not even doing that. What's the point of you being here? What's the point of you being champ? We could have easier crowned someone brand new. A first-time champ. Very clearly, you had someone with Braun, you dropped the ball on that. Had someone with Jacob, dropped the ball on that. Had someone with Oba, dropped the ball on that. So it was like, what is the goal? You had Gunther retire Goldberg, John Cena, and AJ Styles in the span of 6 months. And now he's fighting the general manager of SmackDown. Now, I am enjoying the build to that match. Don't not get me wrong. But the fact that he went from Goldberg, Cena, AJ, retiring them, runner-up in the Royal Rumble, to barely having a match at WrestleMania. It took like the last 2 weeks for him to have a match. Like, he barely had anything planned. To fighting the general manager of SmackDown in the span of a year. It's just like, I don't get it. I don't get it. It's like the storytelling does not matter anymore. Because when they do something interesting, they're just going to run it back. And again. And again. And again. It's like, what's the point? Like, genuinely, what is the point? I'm all for long-term storytelling, but when you start dragging things way longer than they need to be, we don't care anymore. Like, yeah, dragged out that Damian Priest, Aleister Black feud like crazy. God dragged it. It's like, all right, we get it. Best of 3. You had the last man standing match. That was fine with the fireball. Cool, end it there. But no, they decided, you know what? We finna keep going for like another 4 months. We gonna take this to the first SmackDown of 2026. We gonna take it all the way there. And it's like, why? Why? I don't get it. I don't understand that at all. I don't. Just the PLEs are becoming unwatchable. More ads than WrestleMania 42, which is a terrible watching experience. It was literally just 5-minute ad break, 3-minute match, 10 minutes of WWE commercials, a 5-minute ad break. Oh, 6-minute match. Oh, wow, 6 minutes. Back to another 15-minute break. Oh, hit me on this one. 10 minutes. Ooh, 10-minute match. Ooh, cool. That's a long time, guys. 10 minutes. 10-minute WrestleMania match. That's unheard of. We've never seen a 10-minute Mania match before. Another 15-minute break. We seen half of the Hulk Hogan documentary before it came out. We saw half of the Hulk Hogan documentary before it even came out. That's how many ads came out. That's how many ads played. It was like, bro, what are we doing? I'll give them credit. They did get better. But ESPN, which is $30 a month, by the way. Like if you don't got YouTube TV or Xfinity, which have it built in, you're paying $30 a month plus Netflix, plus cable / YouTube TV. That's not cheap. That's like $100 at least. If you use YouTube TV plus Peacock, because they still do Saturday Night's Main Event on Peacock. So you still need that. So it's like you're paying $100+ a month, maybe even like $200, depending on what kind of cable plan you got. That ain't cheap. Not in this economy. That ain't cheap. And then when you only have 5 match cards, and that's it, you only have like 5 matches. The past Saturday Night's Main Event had 4 matches at a Saturday Night's Main Event. 4 matches. Because it was main evented by a Glaze session. I don't... You know what? I think we're getting to a point where I'm like, all right, man, what are we doing here? I ain't saying people need to lose their jobs. But after watching like 3 seasons of Unreal, very clearly, the writers, I wouldn't say they don't know what they're doing. That'd be a bit harsh. But like, very clearly, they kind of don't know what they're doing, if that makes sense. It's like, yeah, you have Triple H saying, yeah, the John Cena retirement tour was a success. What? What? It had good moments. Don't get me wrong. Hey, it had good moments, good matches. But Logan Paul was more involved in John Cena's retirement tour than anybody else not named Cody Rhodes, who had 3 matches with him. Mania, Money in the Bank, SummerSlam. Only worked 36 dates when he wanted to do like 200, which I don't even know where you're getting 200 dates from. I'm going to be honest. It's like 52 Raws, 52 SmackDowns, like 4 or 5 Saturday main events, and like 12 PLEs. So like, where are you getting the other 100 from? House shows? He wanted to do all that. He said, nah, 36, take it or leave it. What? And then you don't have a plan after the heel turn that was TKO specified? He gonna heel turn here because y'all couldn't sell tickets? So, yo, Dwayne, buddy, hey, man. Hey, Dwayne. We're kind of struggling to sell tickets. Come to Elimination Chamber and do something. And we ended up with a heel turn, which was a phenomenal moment. Haven't seen bro since. Haven't seen bro since. We haven't even seen a mention, not a hint, not a teaser, not a nothing. since February of 2025. He wanted Cody Rhodes so thinking he's Quan Chi and Shang Tsung, the Deadly Alliance. You haven't seen bro since. So very clearly you didn't want it so bad enough. You didn't want it bad enough. Okay, you wasn't yearning. Okay, you wasn't yearning hard enough. All right. So it's like, what was the point of that? He ain't come back. Seeing his entire motivation for turning heel made no sense because you were literally getting cheered for the last couple years. If he turned heel in 2012 with this exact same, oh, the fans hate me thing, it would have made sense. But in 2025, it made zero. I say like around like 17, you was getting cheered every single time by this point. You were like, hey man, you already a part-timer by that time. Like 2017, you were a part-timer. You appeared every now and then, and that was it. We were like, all right, very clearly you're coming towards the end. We gonna cherish you. We gonna cheer for you. We gonna root for you. So we are long past that. We're well past that. So the motivation didn't make sense. And the whole I'm a ruin wrestling thing was bad. Even Triple H said like, yo, you're kind of just doing nothing. Not even like a fun nothing, but nothing. You're not doing anything. And it's like, all right, man, all right. So it's like, I don't know. Even when they fired Road Dogg this year because SmackDown was horrendous, somehow, some way, they got worse. I didn't think that was possible, but they did it. Road Dogg started the year hot garbage, back to back. Fired him. We're like, okay, we fired Road Dogg. We finally getting some good SmackDown. Nope. How about I get like a good episode here and now? We're like, all right, that was enjoyable. We got like a one or two, like, all right, that was a great episode. I'll give them that. But the majority of the year has just been bad. Like, bad. Like, 2019, I started the video talking about 2019. I didn't bring it up once. But 2019 was a bad year. Do not get me wrong. But WrestleMania 35 was a phenomenal main event. A phenomenal show. All right, hot take. If WrestleMania 35 was split into 2 nights, and was the beginning of the 2-night WrestleManias, that would be unanimously known as a top 5 mania of all time. Like, it was good. It was just the fact that it was one night and it was so long, it kind of ruined the enjoyment for a lot of people. But when you break it up into 2 nights, I'm telling you, top 5 mania of all time. And the 4 horsewomen, all 4 of them were cooking. All right, they were on fire. They were doing great work. I'll give 2019 that. But everything else was terrible. Same thing at 2026. You had the incredible CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. That was a great match. You had the Oba versus Brock 1 match. That was great. It did what it needed to do. You had the AJ Styles retirement. That was cool. It did what it needed to do. But that's it. Literally you cannot name any other moment besides those 3 in 2026 we were like, yeah, that was cool. And maybe the Randy Orton heel turn. That's it. Besides those 4 moments, nothing else happened this year. Nothing of note happened at all. It's all the same. It ends in a DQ, a roll up, or shenanigans every time. Every match, DQ, roll up, shenanigans. Every time. People can't lose clean anymore. They're scared. Wrestlers can't just lose anymore. It has to be convoluted. Oh, this music played and they were standing ringside and they hit them and oh, the ref got bumped down. Now what? What are we gonna do? Oh, I gotta distract the ref again. Like, come on now. Like, come on. It's okay for wrestlers to just lose. It's okay. I know Twitter not gonna like it, but it's okay for a wrestler to just lose. When was the last time someone like Cody lost clean? Like, no shenanigans, one-on-one clean loss. I guess Sami Zayn technically beat him clean in a triple threat match at Man of Champions. But before that, when was the last time Cody just lost clean? I don't think it's happened since he got back. I'm being so dead serious. I don't think they did any clean loss with Cody Rhodes since he came back in 2023 or 22. Excuse me. Which one? Whatever. Like they don't lose clean anymore. They don't. Sammy lost clean. That was cool. That was fine. Can we do more of that, please? Punk lost clean at WrestleMania. Cool. They shown they're capable of doing it. We can do it more. I promise. A main eventer losing to a main eventer clean is not going to hurt them. It ain't. It's not going to ruin their momentum. Now, if you do it too much at the wrong time and the wrong person, sure. Makes sense. But not everything needs to be a DQ, bro. I promise it's okay. But I've been yapping for like 45 minutes, which is a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, but I had to get it off my chest. Let me know if you disagree or agree in the comments while you're down there. Like and subscribe. Hit that noty bell for more wrestling videos. This is Eli signing out. Click these 3 videos on screen. You'll enjoy one of them. Have a good day.